You know who Ray Comfort is, right?
Behold the atheist's nightmare.
Yeah, that guy. Well, he's a Christian, apparently, and he can often be found cycling around with his dog, or standing on the street at Venice Beach. And he hangs out with Kirk Cameron, who I suspect is a bad influence. He also spends a lot of time putting a microphone in people's faces and asking them questions about evolution and God and whether they're liars or thieves or sinners, that sort of thing. He has a video called Tough Questions That Will Make You Doubt Evolution. Let's have a look at some of those questions and see what Ray Comfort thinks evolution is.
This guy said he'd do an interview. He's on the phone at the moment, but after he gets off, I'll go and talk to him. Let's see what happens. Do you think there's an afterlife?
Question 1. Do you think there's an afterlife? The sensible answer to that is no, just as there wasn't a before life. Seems logical.
Like I said, I think there's a chance of there being an afterlife. I had always thought there was, like, I guess after death, it's just like blank. You just sleep forever. But I also think there's also like a small chance of there being an afterlife.
Are you afraid of dying?
Question 2. Are you afraid of dying? Nothing to do with evolution so far. Are you afraid of dying? No, not afraid of being dead. I'm not looking forward to the process of dying, but who does?
No, I don't think about it much, but I'm pretty sure, like, if I know I'm about to die, then I'd probably think about it more often.
Well, you do know you're about to die. You just don't know when.
I think Ray Comfort is threatening people.
You know, everyone's fearful of death. It's like leaping out of a plane at night, 10,000 feet. You don't know what's out there. It's frightening.
You do know what's out there.
So all of us fear death. Some of us admit it, some don't, and we don't think about it because it's not pleasant. Do you believe in God's existence?
Do you believe in God's existence? Still not about evolution, and the answer to that is no.
Not really. I wouldn't say I'm like a atheist, but I'm more towards atheist than religious.
You think I could change that in about 30 seconds?
I think you'd be hard pushed to change that in 30 seconds. But have a bash.
No.
Are you open-minded?
I'm not so open-minded that my brain falls out.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if I can do it with logic. When you look at a building, how do you know there was a builder?
Because buildings don't build themselves. Is this about evolution now? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure I understand.
Well, every building is proof of a builder.
Yeah.
You don't believe in a builder. You know there was a builder because the building's there. Buildings don't build themselves. Every painting.
Well, it's true, buildings don't build themselves, but the thing with buildings is there's a plan. I mean, do you ask the same question about termite mounds? We know that termites build termite mounds, but do they plan out the termite mound? That's a question. Someone should ask P.Z. Myers.
Every painting is proof of a painter. Painting can be 300 years old, unsigned. Painter died 300 years ago. But you know there was a painter because paintings don't paint themselves. So creation is proof of a creator. It's scientifically impossible for nature to have created itself.
It depends what you think the science is, Ray. And you've been doing this since the 70s, so I'm pretty sure you should know what the science is by now. But let's find out.
So we know God exists. It's not a pleasant thought because we know we're doing things that aren't pleasing to Him. David, what's the best-selling book of all time? Biggest seller of all time?
Isn't it 50 Shades of Grey? I'm sure it's 50 Shades of Grey.
Biggest selling book of all time. I would assume the Bible, since everyone pretty much has one, right?
Yeah, are you an educated person?
Incidentally, the Bible is the most shoplifted book as well, which isn't very Christian. No.
To a certain degree, yeah, I would say.
Have you ever read the Bible?
No, not once. I've looked
I have.
at it, but I've never read inside of it.
You never searched it?
No.
I'm wondering where the questions about evolution are, because I'm supposed to be doubting evolution, and I'm not yet.
No.
So why do you think it's the world's biggest selling book of all time?
It's the world's biggest selling book of all time because of those bloody Gideons. Forgetful buggers. They go to a bookshop, they go to a hotel, leave the book behind. Every time. Every time. I guarantee you when a bookshop sees a Gideon come in, they're like, ooh, the kids are going to eat tonight.
Because I assume people like want to believe in something, so reading something, like to have an idea of where they come from or how everything started, they have an idea of it by reading the Bible. That's what I think.
So, do you believe in evolution?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, you don't have to believe in evolution. Something is either true or it's not. So, all the evidence points towards evolution being pretty goddamn accurate.
I do believe in evolution.
Got a question for you.
Shoot!
For the eye to work with all parts, it has to be complete. How did man see before the eye evolved?
Well, the eye existed before man, so he already had an eye.
Using the other senses, I assume.
So just feeling and touching?
Yeah.
And how did he find his first mate to reproduce? Because she's going to be blind too, because her eyes aren't involved. So both of them are blind, stumbling around. How do they find each other and then have offspring?
Well, women also had eyes already, because female eyes are the same. But two blind humans can find each other with a simple game of Marco Polo.
I'm not sure I can answer that one.
Do you know what your epiglottis is?
No, I do not.
It's your Adam's apple. It's in your throat. It's an apparatus that stops the food going down the lungs. You'd be dead without it. You'd choke to death. How did man eat food before his epiglottis evolved?
The epiglottis also existed before man and women. You're not going to get that one over me, Ray.
I have no comment. I have no clue. I can't think of anything, I guess.
Speaking of thinking, how did man think before his brain evolved? How did he walk around and look for food and look for a woman and live before his brain evolved? Because it's not going to work if it's not evolved. So how did that happen?
I think I'm just going to have to check that mine is still... Yeah, no, I'm still not dreaming, I'm awake. I think the answer is suggested by the previous answers, Ray, in which brains existed before humans existed. I'm starting to think you're being disingenuous.
I would assume, like in time, takes long periods of time to do, I guess, accomplish one thing, I guess, by moving. So
How long did he have to wait for his brain to evolve? Are we talking millions of years?
yeah, I would say,
Stupid question.
who knows, that's forever.
He didn't have millions of years. He only lasted about 70 years. So, ask these questions of your evolutionary teacher next time he tells you this and see what he says. He'll have no answer for them.
No, don't ask them. You're just going to embarrass yourself. Please don't ask questions like that. No. God.
Because evolutionist believers have a certain language. They say maybe, perhaps, probably, could have. There's no facts. There's no scientific basis whatsoever. The reason people
That's a hell of an assertion.
love the Bible and read the Bible is because it gives us our origins, our purpose, our future, tells us how we can prove God's existence, tells us how we can have everlasting life.
The reason people read the Bible and other religious books is not because of this and the other, because it gives their life meaning without having to find meaning themselves. That's it. It's just, you're not just a meaningless speck wandering around on a ball of rock looking for someone to procreate with. It gives you a sense of something to, so, there's more to it than that. That's why people get into religion. Nothing to do with it being true. Okay, well, it turns out there aren't any other questions that will make me doubt evolution in there. The rest of it is just telling him that Jesus died for his sins and this and the other. I was expecting more. It has left me disappointed. But it has led me to believe that Ray Comfort has two possible ideas of what the scientific rationale behind evolution is. which can be demonstrated through the power of Hollywood. So here is Ray Comfort's idea of what evolution should look like. First, when demonstrated in a lab, and second, in the natural world.
Injection occurred at 0928.
What are you feeling?
Something's not right.
Heartbeat elevated. Frank!
Shift indicators are erratic.
Lila electric is jumping. Check radiation. Pass card. What? What's happening?
I breathe.
Check his airway. His lungs are seized. Intubate! Quiet!
If you were tickled by what you just saw, please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Toodaloo.